Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a fix I created for the RobinHood package that will allow us to place trades using dollar amounts, and another function that's going to allow us to place fractional share orders to close out our positions. The first thing we're going to do is load up these packages and authenticate. So make sure you pass in your username, password, and your MFA code. Whenever I'm using this API, I don't want to keep having to authenticate by manually passing in my MFA code. So in line 3, I just saved this object, and in line 4, I just read it back in whenever I have to use this API. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and run these two functions and place an order to make sure that it's working. Now if we take a look at my account, I don't have any stock orders in place currently. So let's go ahead and send an order using our new functions. So I'm going to pass in my RobinHood object. The symbol will be SPY, and I just want to buy $5 worth of stock. So I'm going to run line 86. Now these will place market orders. I'll show you where to modify that within the function. But if we take a look at the account now we see that we have SPY in our stocks. So if we click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and move it up. So here we see that we essentially have $5 worth of this stock. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy the shares to go ahead and place an order to sell. So back in the script here, I'm going to place this into quantity, and I'll go ahead and run this line. And if we go back to RobinHood here, we see that our position has disappeared. So let's go ahead and go over our functions in detail. So for the first one, called place dollar order, we only need to pass in three things, which is our RobinHood object, the symbol we want to place an order for, and the dollar amount. So if we open up this function, we're going to use the RobinHood package to request a quote for the symbol that we pass in. We also need our authentication URL, which is passed in line 13. Now we need to create a payload of what we're actually sending. And most of this stuff comes from our RobinHood object, such as our URL account ID. Since we requested the quote in our previous lines, we can go ahead and extract the ask price, the timestamp, and the bid price, along with the instrument URL. And here are some of the parameters that you can modify if you wish to do so, such as the market hours, the time in force, the trigger, and the order type. And for the dollar amount, we want to make sure that this is rounded to 2 decimal places. We want to make sure that we wrap everything using to JSON and setting these two flags to true. Once we have created the payload, we can go ahead and send our post request by passing in the URL, our payload, and some headers. For the headers, I just copied and pasted from the response I got when listening to the network activity, and I'll show you how to do that if that's a little bit unclear. And after we send our post request, we're going to return the response into a data frame and also add the symbol. Now I'm not going to display that since it does contain my account number, but we do get some useful information such as the dollar amount we sent, the ticker, and also the approximate price. But you can use the RobinHood package and get the actual fill price and the quantity by using the order history wrapper. Now similarly for the place sell order, the only thing that changed was this last parameter, so we need to insert the quantity, and the process is the exact same. So we're going to get a quote from the RobinHood package for the symbol that we pass in. The URL did not change. And now for the payload, some of the things that change are the side. So now we want to sell, and my order type will be a market order. Next we send our post request, and again just return the response as a data frame. So the way I got the headers and the payload was by listening to the network activity. Now if you've been watching my videos, I showed some examples on how to do this, but if you're unfamiliar with the process, we just go to the page that we want to scrape or get information for. We right click and click on inspect, and we go to network, and here you want to place a ticker that you want to buy or sell as an example, and you want to fill out the order form to buy in dollars. And once you click on send or buy, it'll pop out in here somewhere under orders. So you want to make sure you do this after the market has closed, as this will actually send a market order and most likely fill. But once you send an order, you'll see another tab here called payload, and I just copied everything from there. And for the headers, you want to make sure you copy the request headers, so that'll be all this. So that's pretty much all you have to do to get these two functions to work. And in the future, if they do update the API version, just listen into the network and update those values along with the order form version, which seems to be changing through time. But with that, guys, this concludes the video. I hope this was useful information. I'll leave a link down in the description area to my Patreon where you can find the script. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.